What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Porter Rock 77. Welcome back to my channel. I appreciate for you stopping by. For those of you who are new, check out my other videos. But I appreciate you stopping by. This past Sunday, I did a podcast, my first podcast, episode 1 of the 60 Frames No Lag podcast. Had a special guest, Windy City Gaming. If you look at the podcast in the description, I have his link to his channel. Go check him out. But anyway, I appreciate the love that everybody's showing. And let's get on to the topic. PlayStation 4 Neo specs leaked. And also my thoughts on the Neo versus Scorpio and how things might play out. All right. So let's talk about the leak specs. Pretty much most of you probably already saw it online and stuff like that. Similar architecture to PlayStation 4, just higher frequency clock rates. The GPU is supposed to have more compute units and stuff. But let's talk about with the intent. And that's what I really want to talk about. Because we all know it's pretty much 4 teraflops. Pretty much the same leaked documents that was showed about 6 weeks ago when Kotaku released it. But let's talk about some of the other things that's not being talked about. Because everything's about power. In the same document, Sony put down, it was really a PowerPoint, saying that this is a PlayStation 4, but just an upgraded version of it, okay? But it's still going to have the same PlayStation 4 experience, same store, same everything. It's not going to have anything unique in terms of games. So it's just pretty much is the PlayStation 4, just the upper end version of this, and that's the intent. It's supposedly going to support Ultra HD TV, so it's supposed to do 4K, but it's not going to do it natively like the Scorpio would, or what the Scorpio is being advertised to do. It's going to do it, through some type of rendering where it upscales. So that's really where it's at this point. But it is advertising. It's going to give the best performance for 1080p for HD TV sets. So I would imagine higher graphical fidelity, full 1080p, locked 60 frames, 60 frames no lag, and stuff like that. The leaked documents were really the PowerPoint presentation, because that's really what it looks like. It looks like a leaked PowerPoint presentation. It seems like it was directed towards like developers. It was meant for developers and publishers, and Sony's telling them what this console is really supposed to be about. One of the main catalysts from earlier reports of what Sony's saying, that one of the reasons they're going in this direction, because I guess historically, from what they noticed from the prior PlayStation platforms, that all the initial gamers that buy the PlayStation eventually go back to PC, simply because of the lack of power and how far ahead PC gets. So PlayStation's trying to bridge that gap to keep those gamers happy and stuff. So that's their attempt on what they're trying to do. Okay. How do I feel about the power? I don't know. I'm not used to mid-gen upgrades, so this will be a first for me as a console gamer, just to see. Some people, particularly in the Xbox community, are saying the games that we saw on E3 for PlayStation, those are Neo games. If that is true, I'm not impressed. I'm not going to pay $399. I mean, the graphics are great, don't get me wrong, but I don't think those are PlayStation Neo graphics. I wouldn't be impressed if that was Neo. I was impressed thinking that those are PlayStation 4 vanilla graphics, and I'm impressed at how far they went. But I just see that as a normal improvement of a closed environment. But if you're telling me that's Neo with 4 teraflops, I would think that the jump would be bigger, considering the difference between a Neo and a PlayStation 4 vanilla. Now, Sony's outright saying that those games did not run on Neo. They ran on PlayStation 4. I know normally companies will always try to show the best version of their games with hardware. Now, when companies try to be sneaky, there's always a leak on, somebody takes a picture or something of the hardware that's actually running the game. And so far, we didn't see no leaks on the PlayStation 4. For example, 2013, in August, when Microsoft had the Call of Duty multiplayer reveal on Xbox One, it wasn't actually being ran on Xbox One. It was being ran on PC, and people caught pictures of it and posted the leaks online. They posted the sneaky pictures online. And then Microsoft came back and saying, well, it wasn't running on Xbox One. It was running on hardware similar to Xbox One, which we know now that that's full of shit as well. So I don't know. I'm going to say that those games are PlayStation 4 games until we see the Neo, until we see how these games look on Neo. So when is Neo coming out? Rumor is supposed to be this year. They're cutting it close because they're not going to be at Gamescom. So then, or they're not going to have a press conference at Gamescom. So we're going to have to wait till September. September's going to be the only event, the Tokyo Game Show, where they could unveil the Neo and launch it this holiday season. I don't think it's coming out this holiday season, but that's just a guess. But we'll see. Rumor has it also a PlayStation Slim, so we'll see how that plays out. So yeah, so as far as power, I hope it's not what we saw on E3 because I wouldn't be impressed at that point. I wouldn't want to pay $399 for what I saw at E3. I would just be happy playing the games on the PlayStation 4, and that's just how it is. Some people call me a cheap gamer. It's just I'm just not gonna throw money out for small incremental. I'm not gonna support that. I'm not gonna support a small incremental upgrade. If you're gonna release a console, you know what I'm saying? Just same thing with Microsoft. 6 teraflops, that sounds beast. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's worthwhile. If you're gonna release a new console to make it significant upgrade or significantly different. You're either gonna if you're gonna charge more or if you're gonna keep a high price, then it has to be beast. It has to be a lot. All right. If you're gonna create a new console like the Slim, the only reason why you're doing it is to reduce the price. So it's either reduce the price or come out something significant. From what I saw in E3, I don't see that as a Neo. I don't think it's Neo. I'm not impressed if it was a Neo. I'm impressed if that's PlayStation 4, but I wouldn't be impressed if that was just a Neo. That's just me. Now, how would this Neo versus Scorpio play out? Let's get a couple of things straight. No matter what, whether you want to call it 9th gen console Scorpio or this gen, no matter how you play it out, all those terms are superficial. It doesn't mean anything. Because at the end of the day, those products will be on the shelf. And someone's going to choose one or the other. That's it. I mean, look at last gen with 360 and PS3 and the Wii and the Wii. The Wii was nowhere near on the level. It wasn't even HD. But guess what? A lot of people went in and bought a Wii and they didn't buy a 360 and PS3. That's just how it is. All right? When you prevent another console from selling because people are preferring this console to buy or they choose this console to buy, you're in competition. This whole, well, it's not really a competition because Scorpio's a 9th gen console, PS4 still 8th gen. No. If people go out and buy the Scorpio and they don't buy the Neo, Neo's losing out. Scorpio's winning, and vice versa. All right? So let's just get that out the way. They're in competition because they're both are the latest products and they're going to be on store shelves. That's just the reality. That's just how it is. All right? Now, overall, with this Neo and Scorpio, I don't know how things are going to turn out because there's one important piece of information that we're missing, and that's price. I'm telling you, I know a lot of people are saying, oh, this is for the premium, even Sony's saying it. Everybody's saying this. I don't care what people say. I'm going off of just how the console market has always been and has yet to change. And at the end of the day, it's price. People want an affordable console. Sure, you're going to have your few gamers that will always buy the console at $600, $700, whatever. They're going to buy the latest TV. They're going to buy all that. But those type of gamers do not make a console successful. All right, those extreme hardcore gamers that will drop money on the most premium experiences is not what makes the console successful. It's the average Joe and Jane gamer. The average Joe and Jane gamer, when they walk in a store, they're gonna affordability is a huge factor. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you're playing majority of the same games. All right, you know what I'm saying? Power is only gonna go so far. Perfect example is 2014, November and December. During those 2 months, during the holiday, the Xbox One was the highest selling console. It outsold the PlayStation. Why? Because the Xbox One was at $300. The PlayStation 4 was $400. That's it. Doesn't matter the PlayStation 4 was a more powerful console. It did not matter. The Xbox One was $300 and you could play most of the same games. You could play Destiny. You could play Call of Duty. That's it. Plain and simple. It was $100 cheaper. And with the $100, you could get more games. That's it. It comes down to it. Then when Microsoft raised the price back up to $350, a $50 difference wasn't that much of a big deal throughout 2015, you know? And then in 2015 holiday, Sony matched the price of the Xbox One. Because again, Microsoft dropped it back down to $300, but so did Sony. Sony dropped it down to $300. So you didn't have this $300 versus $400 environment in 2015 during the holidays. It was $300 to $300, even Steven. At that point, people chose a PlayStation because Xbox One didn't have a huge price difference. So price is a factor. You know what I'm saying? So now, the biggest thing to worry about will they release this Xbox Scorpio at $599? I'm sorry. The techies, the hardcore, the premium gamers, there isn't that many of you. There isn't that many of us. There ain't that many. We don't have a fleet of premium gamers that's just gonna ransack Scorpios off the shelf for a year or two. It's not gonna happen. Scorpio release is November at $599. It'll probably be sold out November, December. January is when it start dropping. And then February, March, April, it's just gonna drop so low. Of course, Microsoft is not gonna reveal Scorpio numbers. It's gonna hide it behind Xbox One S, which is another scenario, which I'll talk about in a few. But the Scorpio itself ain't gonna sell that much at that price. It's not. You can't get in the hands of consumers. You know what I'm saying? You have to get in the hands of consumers. All right. If Sony releases Neo this year, let's say at $399. If they sell $499, they screw themselves too, because I think majority of the gamers will buy the regular PlayStation 4 and not the Neo. $499 is a bit out of touch. So you sell a PlayStation Neo for $499 and a regular PlayStation 4 for $299, the $299 PlayStation is going to win. Neo is not going to sell that much. If you sell $399, it's a little bit better. It'll do a little bit better. But if Sony releases a Neo at $399 this year, you best believe come next year, that console is going to be $349 and it's going to have a pack-in game or two. A $349 Neo versus a $599 Scorpio, that's not going to be good for Scorpio. It's not going to be good for Microsoft. You could boast about the 6 teraflops, but again, people are not going to be able to pay $600, especially when they see a $349 console, maybe not as powerful as as the Scorpio, but again, just like how Xbox One was $100 cheaper over the PS4 in 2014 and the majority of gamers bought it, people are just going to see value. It's a cheaper console, graphics are better. Hey, I'm happy with what I got, with what I can afford. That's the average Joe and Jane console gamer. That's it. That's the audience, okay? So you could get one premium gamer that will buy a Scorpio, but if you get 7 or 8 Joe or Jane gamers to buy a Neo, it's going to be fucking lopsided again. You understand what I'm saying? And then you're going to hear some bad narratives about the Scorpio. Why isn't it selling? Scorpio has no games. Did Microsoft think they were going to push a $599 console with just Forza and Halo? People are tired of Forza Halo. You're going to hear all these opinions and bashing and narratives and everything. It's just going to get ugly. The worst thing Microsoft could do is release that console for $599. But we're going to have to wait and see how that goes. But I will say this. If it releases a $599, and God help, some people are talking about $699, $799. Oh shit! Oh, they don't even bother at that point. $799, $800 for a gaming console. Listen, we console gamers can't have it both ways. We talk about that we're console gamers because it's accessible, it's affordable, it's easy, and PC gaming is too expensive. But then as soon as we tell a PC gamer, hey, PC gaming is too expensive, we go around and we're going to say, we'll buy a $600 console, and then on top of that, let's go get an $800 4K TV. That doesn't make sense. You're talking about $1,400 there. And the PC gamers are looking at us like, what the fuck is wrong with these console gamers? First they say this shit's affordable, but now they're about to drop $1,500 for a console and a TV. Like, all right. You know what I'm saying? It can't have it both ways. I always said console is supposed to be the affordable platform for gaming. It always has been. It's always been the affordable platform for gaming. That's how console gamers get their hands on it. I do agree most console gamers don't want to get to PC because it's too expensive. So they rely on consoles. There's only a few premium gamers that will jump at the $600 price point. All right? But you guys are a small minority and you run out fast. I would say within 3 months. All you premium gamers are going to get your console within 3 months. Everything else is real low numbers, and the numbers will drop, So that's my opinion. That's what I think. Microsoft shouldn't sell that thing on $599. It's going to change the dynamics. And we're just going to have to wait and see right now. We're going to have to wait to see to September to see traction on Neo and what Sony's going on. But anyway, those are my opinions. Those are my comments on the latest. Please write some comments down. Let me know. I'll interact with you. I'm interested in what you guys think, and I like to interact. I like to learn from the community as well. Hit me up on Twitter. If it's easier for you, you can hit me up. We'll bullshit and chat on that one too. Subscribe, like or dislike the video. Let me know what you think about the video. Hit me up on Twitter, DM me. Let me know of any content or topics you want me to talk about. Maybe something you want me to talk live on the 60 Frames No Like podcast. I appreciate it. Again, it goes Sundays at 6 p.m. Eastern, but I will not have one this Sunday because I'm celebrating. It's my birthday weekend, so I'm going away for the weekend with my wife. You know, we're gonna have some fun. We're gonna be up in Virginia at Kings Dominion, get some rides, and just enjoy. So if you see me in Virginia, if you're one of the few people and you see me, say hi. Be like, hey, yo, Porter Rock, 60 frames no lag. You know, make me feel good. You know what I'm saying? And then with my wife, I'm like, baby, I'm famous. I'm just playing. But anyway, so if you see me and you see me, Keith Virginia, don't be a stranger. Say what's up, and we'll talk games and get on rides or whatever. But anyway, um, again, thank you for stopping by. Thank you for the support. For those who've been here for the beginning of my channel, I appreciate. Thank you so much. If you're new, please subscribe. I have more content, and I'm just gonna make this grow. We'll talk about some great topics and stuff like that. All right. Again, to the most passionate community here on YouTube, I thank you. And at the end of the day, it's okay to have a preference. Have your preference. Enjoy your Xbox. Enjoy your PlayStation 4. But remember, at the end of the day, keep it gaming. Always keep it gaming. Enjoy your gaming and keep it gaming. All right? Take care. See you next time.